Hey, thanks everyone. My name is Jiahao, founder and CEO of Flock. I will, so sorry, just after a break, so I think people want to settle down a bit. So I'll start with some questions like how many of you guys here have used LLMs? Like raise your hand. Yeah, everyone did, right? It's now like a routine for everyone, right? Even for a simple email, we will just run through a grammar check. Now everyone become native speaker. So how many of you guys have trained LLM on your own or even like fine tune it? Cool. Yeah, not many people. And how many of you have actually trained it on another people's GPU? Nope. Or how many of you have trained or fine tuned an LLM on other people's data? Right? Yeah, it sounds even strange, right? But this is actually what we're trying to achieve: a decentralized AI landscape, or actually an end-to-end mechanism for people to actually can use any infrastructure, any data they can get from the community, while we still preserve the privacy to make sure like nothing's leaked, but we can still uh, build on top of other, let's say, that other data sources or other compute infrastructures to make this. So that's what we're talking about as decentralized AI in practice, meaning that we have it out now. So the website is just trend.flock.io, where actually you can do it right now for today. I'll just run through a bit how it looks like. So these are some of our collaborators. The whole general Web3 AI landscape. Like many players are now in this whole AI and crypto intersection, right? Because yeah, it's a hot topic. It's like so popular nowadays. We have people who trying to tackle the compute, like Fran Jensen from UK as well, and also for decentralized training. I think everyone know BitTensor, and well, some of you maybe know Flock already. And also people trying to do the inferencing like Retro, Ezekiel, or and also for applications where David was just here for all us, right? And Morphosis and some of our other friends. So yeah, this is a big landscape. Basically, that's the whole spectrum of the let's say what we call the production line, right? From compute to where you're going to do training, to how you're going to inference your data, and to how you wrap it into a product where everyone else can use it. So that's the whole of it. Why actually we need this? Why do we need decentralized training, right? Because centralized models are too centralized, of course. So if you are going to train a virtual assistant that require you to give all of your data to a third party, that'll be quite scary, right? Which I think yesterday Microsoft launched this new feature on Copilot, where if you're using Windows machines right now, they look into all your details and they can help you to do suggestions on all the moves. Even when you are playing a game, you ask it, how do I do attack next? He'll tell you, okay, press A or press W. So it sounds scary, right? But it's like the control is essential. So yes, they can claim that they don't transfer your data back, but there's no way to prove they didn't, right? There's always this concern about this, first of all. Secondly, of course, there's poor compensation for data. We all know that once GPT become a hype, suddenly Reddit choose to limit their API calls now, right? And also Twitter as well, everyone knows. You have to pay 5,000 per month to actually get a decent API calls. So just because GPT in the early days, they just take advantage of all this free data, they put everything together, and then eventually, okay, Elon Musk figured out, oh, you are taking advantage of my data. Now I'm going to build my own Grok. So also the risk of biased models, which I guess we heard the news about Gemini scandal. And also Sam Pichai had to apologize as well, because those models are centralized and it's evaluated by a group of centralized people, and they might have their own polar of their views, right? Which are actually delivering a model that's aligned with their own values, but it's not the same for every corner of the world. So you probably heard like many of the people on Twitter, like recently there's a hype that everyone just posts, and that's me. So post like I resigned from OpenAI to build something else, right? Something decentralized. So so that's basically the the voices from the community that they want something that they can control. That's controlled by the whole community. So that's what Flock trying to bring. The way that we do it is we have what we basically so Flock itself is a pun. It's a combination of federated learning and blockchain. Flock. So yeah, if you're in London, I also do stand-up comedian myself. That's why I like puns. Yeah, so what we do is there's a traceable contribution, of course, because all the transactions of the training and the model contributions on chain that you can see, okay, if there's only like 100 transactions to that model finally being fine-tuned, right, and I contribute 3 of them, so of course, that's 3% of my contribution. That's easily to trace and traceable. And also there's on-chain incentivization where, well, that's the biggest thing of crypto, right? So before, if you are contributing to an open source project, it's not clear now how you're gonna repay from it, get some pay from it. Maybe just show off your status on a GitHub, Hugging Face or Kaggle, and hopefully you can get a job in Google to get higher paid. But that's the only exit for all this open source engineers before, right? But now there's some direct financial impacts. And also, all this gives into our specialized models for the diverse community. So it's not trained by us. We can't see any of our data or any of the models. It's all just governed and evaluated by each different community. So they have their own model. They can build it. Yeah. So how the whole framework works like so. There's 4 different roles currently, well, actually 3 different roles for the trainers. So there's task creators. Those are our collaborators who are trying to build up a business case to post up a task on Flock. Then they can define their desired models. And there are training nodes. Those are actually the builders in the community who are trying to build models to solve those problems, and also validators. So that's an important structure or important role in our whole Flock system, where they help the whole system to govern whether the training results from any training algorithms are accurate, or are they faking the result, or are they cheating the result. And also eventually the end users who actually the users going to be using those bots or those AI agents or those algorithms, right? Either it's a chatbot that you're going to chat with, or it's like a medical consultancy application, which is actually a real case in our platform right now to be resold to another consultancy company. So there's a real value coming in and from different industry collaborators, both Web 2 and Web 3. So this is how the structure, how it works. Basically, the data stays local. As I said, so the reason we use federated learning. So federated learning is not it's not something like very hard to understand or very old. It's actually debuted maybe 2017 by Google. Everyone nowadays who are using Google phones, actually you are using federated learning already. So Google is using it to predict your typing habits, like what's my next word based on the words I'm typing down already, right? So, but there's always a risk where, yeah, it's controlled by a central entity, and they might, if they want, they might get your raw data back. So there's no governance over it. That's also why, if it's so secure, why not Apple join this Google's federated learning training? So we have a bigger user basis and a bigger databases to train the model, right? Nah, they are not going to do that. So that's why we want blockchain to join this federated learning training. So everyone or every trainer in the community, they form this consensus governance. So no one in the middle actually see anything. So it's all has to go through the whole community base. Yeah, we published papers on this, like our first paper on NeurIPS 2022, and then several following up papers on IEEE transaction AI and the TBD. Well, TBD is the title. Transaction on big data. It's not TBD. Right. So that's the base layer. So your data stays local. The only thing changes is the model gradients. Basically, the changes of the gradients that can pass around, and you don't have to have your data sent over to any third party. It's always local. And the middle layer is what we call the AI layer. AI layer are the ones where we actually collaborate all these roles together. The ones who create the tasks, the ones who are training those models, and the ones who are serving those models. And on this whole AI layer, we will work with our collaborators, either those who provide compute or those who provide distributed data storage, and then eventually the blockchain layer. Um, that's for the whole security of the whole system. So the staking, the consensus, and the incentive to make sure that okay, it's where governed. And also we have the staking mechanism, not for the financial way, but for the governance ways that you have to put down something, or some of the FML, let's say the token name, and then to join the training. So if you are not playing good, you are going to be slashed. But if you are always good, you'll get those incentives. So for good players, let's say good as a simple term, you'll always get resources to join next tasks or future the new training opportunities. Or if you are playing bad, you'll be slashed out and you will run out of your gas basically. So you can't join any more training anymore. That's basically how it works. Yeah. So So there's supposed to be a live demo, but we don't have that facility today here. So I just got some screenshots. So the platform is out already, and we're already having a great community support. And there's going to be a big announcement also with our biggest node operation collaborator, which is also the world's first. I'm currently still under embargo. It will release 6 p.m. today. Actually, it's PT 10 a.m. So yeah, you will know the name a bit later. And so how the platform works is we have those tasks. Basically, those tasks will be generated. It's either, as I mentioned, right, either a bot or a large language model related task, or even not large language model related task, which we did before with our partners in medical area where they do glucose monitoring, but using Flock as a secured way, so they don't have to send their patients' data anywhere else. We can use this to do even cross-jurisdiction training because all data stays local. So those tasks will be published here, and then participants will join the training. They can either choose to become a validator, means that they don't need to do a lot of work. They just need to put down some FML tokens and leave it there, waiting for other people's results, and then to validate, to check the result whether it's getting better for the metrics, right? That's an easy job. And also you can choose to be the training nodes, by which training nodes means those who can join the training and provide their models, either change it from a base model or from some models they've created themselves, basically, to contribute to this specific task. And then those models will compete each other, maybe 10 of them, 100 of them will compete. Whoever gets the best will receive the highest incentives on the whole system. So yeah, there's no financial efforts in terms of the staking thing. So I know when I talk to people like you have to stake to join the training, they feel like, oh, are we going to pay in ETH or something? Nah, it's like there's no financial staking that you have to do. It's just for the whole system's testing and governance. It's just for this system itself. What's the next steps? So basically, we currently have our single node training, meaning that you can run it on your own single nodes. And in the future, there will be more features rolling out. For example, the federated learning closed beta, meaning that we can have those federated learning agents downloaded or installed on your client basis, so they can get secure that their data always stays local. And then you can use those, by use I mean stays local, but you can use those data for training purposes. And we will also have our white paper live. We actually have it already, but then my team told me like, it's too academical, let's make it easier to understand. So we're just like decomposing it now to make sure it reads smoothly. And and moving forward, our task creation will be open to almost everyone. So it's gonna be decentralized. So if you have a task yourself, you wanna build a model for yourself, you can just put up a task, leave it on Flock, and then wait for the community to contribute together. And that's pretty much it. So how to get involved? Whitelist is here. You can scan the QR code. You can actually check all our socials, and also join the whitelist. You don't. We are currently just running our second phase, so we might open up the whitelist very soon. But of course, the early adopters will have higher incentives if you are there's less competition, let's say, in the whole ecosystem right now, right? So yeah, that's us. And also for some of the models which are already live, you can check it on beta.flock.io. So with our collaborators, like those for those GPTs for those projects and those medical use cases, they're all online here. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And that's our model. We are scaling the decentralized AI, and which is created by communities and for communities. Right? Any questions?
Thank you so much, Jiahao. We have a few minutes for questions. If not, we'll wrap it up there, and we'll get started in a few minutes. Thank you so much, Jiahao.
Yeah, yeah. And also those academic papers, they are all on this link as well. So if you want to check it out. Yeah, thank you.